Well, good morning, YouTube. Well, it could be afternoon or evening, depending on what time you're watching. But for me, it is early morning in Wisconsin in December, the last day of school before semester break. So, as a parent, I'm very excited. I have a high schooler, he's in 11th grade, but it's definitely exciting for the next 2 weeks. We don't have to worry about, school. So, I'm excited about that. But I thought I would come on and post a video talking about some of the struggles I'm having as I write this manuscript. The struggle is real. But before I talk about these struggles, if you are new to this channel, I want to say welcome. Thank you for visiting this channel. Hopefully, you subscribe to my channel so you can see more videos as they come about. For those of you who have already subscribed, thank you. I have about 77 subscribers in less than a week. I'm not sure if that's a big deal or not, but I really think it is. So thank you for subscribing. Please like these videos, subscribe if you haven't already. Send the links to your friends, family, anyone who you think could benefit from these videos. I want to reach, again, I've talked about in my first video who I really want to reach with this process, with my journey. And so please consider sending these videos out to your friends, coworkers, family members, whoever you think would benefit. So moving on to it, because I have work in about 30 minutes. So my first struggle I'm going to talk about is like reliving the memories of my childhood. So as I'm writing, I'm, of course, writing about things that happened to me as a child. And so the last few days, I've focused on the ages from about 8 to 11. And so there were some very traumatic things that happened during that age frame for me. And I remember writing, I believe it was on Monday, this past Monday, I was writing, and I got to a point where I had to write about a particular situation that happened when I was a child. It was a very traumatic situation. I hadn't even really thought about it in years. But as I was writing about that time frame, I remembered like, oh, this happened during this time as well. And so I texted a couple of my friends. I just sent this blanket text about what happened. I didn't give a disclaimer. I didn't say, oh, I'm currently writing. I just said, when I was at this age, this happened, this happened, this happened. And so I thank God for my dear friends who said to me, hey, as you're going through this process, if you need me, I'm here. If you want to talk, if you want to text, if you want to cry, I'm here. Whatever, if you just want me to listen, I'm here. And I appreciate those friends who say, I'm here just to listen, right? And so I sent this text out to a few of my friends, and the responses back was like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Like, this has to be hard for you. And so again, that's probably one of my biggest struggles is, reliving things that happened to me as a child, but also the things that are kind of coming back. It's like, oh, like I forgot about that. And some things are coming back based on people I'm talking to. So I did an interview with my childhood best friend. And so there were some things that came from that interview that I totally forgot, but they did come from that interview. And so I know this is a natural process. Memories are going to come. I'm writing a memoir. So this is what happens during the process of writing a memoir, I assume, right? This is my first time doing this. But some of you may have been through this process before. So if you have, please comment, share your experiences, give me some advice about, how I can handle some of these things. I do have a therapist, so I do attend therapy. So I'm not going through this journey without professional help, because I know some of my friends were worried about that. So I am going through this journey with professional help and with the help, for my friends and loved ones. So I do appreciate that. So another struggle that I'm having is my sleep pattern is totally off. I'm up all times of the night. It's like when something comes, I need to write. And so I had a friend who said, Ozella, you want to make sure you have a writing schedule in the times when you write. Well, I work 40 to 50 hours a week. So during that time, I'm doing my job that I'm paid to do, my job that I love. So I can't write throughout the day. I have to write after 5 o'clock. And so with that, I'm writing for this book after 5, but I have a child. I have a family. I have to do dinner. I have other things. I have a granddaughter. So on weekends, I have her. And so it's not like I just have, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to schedule in writing. And so a lot of times I'm writing in the evenings or on weekends. A lot of times in the evenings, I do try to get up early morning and write as well. So my sleep pattern is off. So I might write from, after I get dinner done, after I talk to my son, take care of some phone calls or evening things I need to do. I might sit down around 7 o'clock to start writing. And so I might write from 7 to 10. I might try to cut it off at a certain time, but that doesn't always happen. And so even when I can get into bed by 11 o'clock, sometimes my sleep is just not good sleep. And so I text one of my friends, Eileen Trimble. She's an amazing author. She's written, I don't know how many books. If I had to bet money on it, I would say this amazing writer has written about 200 books. Okay. All types of genre. Eileen Trimble, look her up. I will post her name in the comments so you can look at some of her books, but she's an amazing writer. And so she's helping me throughout this process. She's going to be doing some editing for me. And so I text her one day. I said, why didn't you tell me I would not sleep or not sleep well during this process? And she kind of, did the LOL back to me. And so she was like, what's keeping you up? And so I had a dialogue with her. And so that would probably definitely be one of my bigger struggles is my sleep pattern is off. So if I can get to sleep, that's great. I'm usually up a little earlier in the mornings now, but I don't feel as quite rested because I can't shut my brain off. Like my brain is constantly going. I've even dreamed about this process. So very interesting. And so the last struggle I would talk about that I'm dealing with in regards to writing this manuscript is I don't want to make people look bad. So I'm telling the truth. I'm telling my story, but I know it's making certain individuals look like horrible people. And that's not my intent. My intent is to tell my story. My intent is to try to help others, who are going through similar things, who went through similar things, maybe foster parents or social workers who are supporting youth who are going through these things, family members who see children in their family going through these things, or, adults who've been through these things. So my intent is not to make anyone look bad. I don't want to make anyone be the villain. I don't even want to be the victim. I just want to help others. I think we go through things in life and something should come out of it besides just a sad story, right? So I want some good to come from a lot of the bad I've went through, and so and that's why I'm writing this manuscript, but I just feel bad about how people may look once it comes out. And I don't know what to do about that. Again, maybe if you have some advice about how to handle that, if you have written some things that, shed light on people that is not that positive, how did you deal with that? And I know with a memoir, I've been doing research on memoirs. I can change a person's height, weight. I can change a person's name. I can even change the events of the situations a little bit so people aren't recognizable. So I'm not using any names in this book, but there's one person who the book is really about, myself and another individual, right? And so everybody knows who that person is. So even if I gave this person a different name, which I'm not even using names, it wouldn't help because people know who this person is. And another thing, I was talking to a friend of mine and they said, Ozella, when this book comes out, the relationship with this person may be damaged. The amount of relationship you do have with this person might be damaged. And so I do know that I need to sit down with this individual and say, hey, I'm writing this book. I'm set to interview this person in about a week. So I'm going to interview them. They know what I'm asking about. And so I just need to have an honest, open conversation and say, I'm telling my story. And I know that part of the story that you're in is not good, but I have to tell my story. So I'm hoping I can kind of get this person's blessing in a sense. So please keep me in your thoughts as I go through that process. But again, I just want to share a video about my 3 top struggles I'm having at this point during this writing journey. The struggle is definitely real. Keep me in your thoughts. I will continue to talk to my friends. Again, I am seeking professional help as I go through this journey. Thank you. Have a great day.